I'm sure some of you on the internet have heard this thing about low IQ being associated with people of African descent, black people, and saying that because of this low IQ that black people have, it is why predominantly black areas are so riddled and rife with crime. What I'm going to say is, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to assume that's true. I'm going to assume all that bad stuff they say about black people and intelligence and being able to behave is true, right? I don't think it is. I know it's not, but we're going to assume that it's true. Even if that is true, that's still no excuse for crime. It's no excuse for why crime festers. Because if that truly were the case, what you should do is have mechanisms in place in a society that would curb this behavior of people who are so-called low IQ. And it's still not enough to excuse right from wrong. It's not. Those of us who have children know that children are not the most intelligent people in the world. Sorry, children. But even at 2 and 3 years old, toddlers know right from wrong. Now, would I put them on the stand? Can they stand trial? No. But if they know the rules that you have, don't touch this, don't touch that, I said don't go here, don't go there. At 2 and 3 years old, they'll look at you, wait till your back's turned, and then run right over and grab the object because it's shiny if they want. And then when you turn around and look at them, they'll stop. And then you fake turn around like you're not looking, they'll run back right over to it. So what you need to do, if you're assuming that you have this group of people that just are totally incapable of controlling themselves, which they're not, that wasn't true, but if you want to assume that, then you should have mechanisms in place to handle it. See, that's not the problem with crime in black areas. The problem with crime, and I should specifically say low-income black areas, because when you live in black areas where there's more income, there's miraculously less crime. The problem with crime in low-income black areas is that it's allowed to happen. It is allowed to happen. I'm going to say it a third time. It is allowed to happen. And what I see happening is that parents are bringing their kids to my classes at 3, 4, 5 years old, wanting them to learn martial arts. Let me stop there. They don't necessarily want them to learn martial arts. Some of the parents, most of the parents really, but I'm going to say some, want the children to come in there and learn how to fight. Those who actually want their children to learn a martial art, their children stick around, they stay past the toddler stage, and they graduate into the all ages classes, and they continue to grow and grow. I'm at 9 years at my longest location, and some of them have been with me since they were itty bitty things. A few of them have been there. They didn't start from the first class, but they started when they were toddlers, and they kept going. Those are the parents who want their kids to learn a serious martial arts structure. But if they come to me, time and money are a factor, but they want a serious martial arts structure, or they just want their kids to learn how to fight. It's either one of those two things. Because the people that have a lot, I used to get this in the beginning too, and I even advertised this. Bring your kid to my class because it's so cheap. They were like, I can't believe it's this cheap. There's got to be something. But they would still come, but they would say, it's got to be, what's going on? What's going on? I said, I'll tell you what. And this is why I fought to keep things, the cost so low initially. This is my way of giving back to my community. And by my community, I mean the community of human beings in the United States of America, specifically Prince George's County, Maryland. It's like, a lot of times people put their kids in a martial arts class. It costs too much. And then they're stuck in this contract and they can't get out. So what you can do is, if you come to me and your kid likes it, but it's not often enough for you and you got the time and the money to go more often, take them to someplace where you can go more often. You know the kid likes it. So for me, jump to a storefront. Or for me, jump to a teacher that's available more than once a week. Oh, you don't mind that? No, I don't mind that. In fact, I encourage it. In fact, especially then, not so much now, but around that time where I was working, my day job sometimes will just weekend, you got to come in. So I can't really commit or, hey, we need you to stay late tonight. We got to get this, we got to build, we've got to get it out. So I know I'll be like, if I'm trying to do this stuff 3, 4, 5 days a week, I'm going to be calling, hey, I can't come in. I got to work late. I got to work late. I got to work late. So just through intuitive, just through observation, I figured out which days and times I'm probably not going to have to be hit with a last minute thing. And it's usually not on a Thursday night, not on Saturday morning. That hasn't always been the case. There was even a time when I had to do Saturday mornings, believe it or not. But even when it usually was, we would come in early on Saturday, and I actually would be out at a time where I could, if I pushed it, probably make a class. So that's what I do. So back to crime. These people. Now, if there was something just genetically wrong with like black people and black race and crime, I would not have any black students who stick around. No martial arts instructor would have any black students who stick around because you wouldn't be intelligent enough to learn a martial art. You wouldn't. So that whole crime thing, it being associated with intelligence and there's something defective in the black intelligence gene, that's not cutting it. That's not cutting it. That's not enough of an explanation. It's not. Because black people learn how to drive and how to read and how to write and how to do all types of stuff. So it's not something that's genetically in black people. This would be a well-known fact by now. You've had presidents, we're really presidents, but I'm not going to go into all that. We have one visibly, obviously black person who was president of the United States. And so that nullifies that, They're black technical people. They're black doctors, lawyers, black engineers, black mechanics, black cooks, all types of black medical specialists. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So you can't say that's the reason for the crime. What you can say is if in areas where people don't have as much money, corrupt people can get away with more things because the people that live in an area with less money don't have the resources to fight back. That's what it is. Now, I look at, so they can't fight back against corrupt officials or even corrupt cops or even just corrupt citizens. They can't fight back against other crooks. They just don't have the resources to do it. They don't. If somebody look at it. Let's say somebody gets mad at me in where I live now, right? And they break my window out because they are mad because I said something to the cops. Actually, this happened in the two neighborhoods ago. I always bring up periodically. What happened when they broke the window out of my van? It hurt a little bit, but I could afford to buy a new window. So I just bought another window, kept going. Now, what if I'm struggling so bad? Even though I was in that neighborhood, it was like, I was one of the people that was doing the best, but I was still far from rich. I can't afford to get my window broken out of my car because I'm not going to be able to get it fixed because I'm not going to be able to feed my kids. You see what I'm saying? Just something simple like that. If I know or I think they might do something, this isn't even talking about I'm worried about my life. If they make it the least bit inconvenient for me, then I can't fight back. I have to keep my mouth shut so I can survive. And we're not even talking at the point where they might shoot or kill me. I'm going to make a part 2 of this. Hang in there.